I found out I wanted to be a tattoo artist when I was 14 years old under potentially the worst circumstances a person could figure that out. I grew up in a family where we very early on were stressed to have a vocation, whether it was joining the military or learning a craft. I wanted to draw things. In my hour, in my day, there wasn't actually a lot of market for people drawing things, less so now. So when I met a person who was a complete dirtbag, and I found out that he was a tattooer, I became very quickly invested in the fact that a person really could make a living drawing dragons and daggers and hearts and names. My first tattoo was also when I was 14 by said dirtbag. I was encouraged by my fact that my oldest brother had gotten a tattoo with our role model, and I went and pursued him, expressing my enthusiasm about art and his medium. There's no joke about how long a person sees himself as a tattoo artist if they're good enough to get through their first 10 years. If you're good enough to get through your first 10 years, then your retirement plan involves a shovel. There are many ways to prepare to get a tattoo, and there's very many ways to choose how you get your tattoo. It's important to research your artist. It's important to research their work, their disposition, their specialty, and their inclinations. It's very easy to do this. You can ask your friends who they've gotten tattooed by. You can research them on social media. It's also important to be very, very confident in your image. Because you're very enthusiastic and infused about something doesn't change the fact that it might be a flash in the pan. There was the first time I ever tried to tattoo a person, and there was the first time I ever got paid. All of those things are very different. First time I ever tried the tattoo was just like any other tattoo done in an apartment. It just didn't work. Now, my favorite story is the first time I ever got paid. I was working as an apprentice in a shop, and a guy came in, and he had a 30-year-old Tasmanian devil that he hated. And so when he came in and said, "I really want this fixed, but I don't really have any money," the artist said, "Why, I'd be happy to fix that," and he quoted him a price. The guy returned with the fact that he had about 30% of that price in cash. The artist shrugged him off, said no, and then realizing that I wasn't immediately busy fetching coffee or tracing anything, said, "Oh wait, what about him?" He goes, "What about him?" I said, "Well, he's an apprentice and so he can do it." And he was like, "Well, okay." And I went back to the artist and said, with stars in my eyes, "Do you really think that I can do it?" Dismissively, he said, "Well, you can't up." And that's the true story of the first tattoo I ever did for pay.